It was founded in a very different world, at a very different time. Fidel Castro had led the communist revolution in Cuba. Yuri Gagarin became the first man to journey into outer space. The Berlin Wall had just been erected, and Sierra Leone had gained independence from the United Kingdom. Though while these global events unfolded, there was something moving behind the scenes, which was playing its own part overseas and abroad, preserving and defending life, just as it always has. Times may have changed, though the need for a helping hand has not. And since 1961, it has done just that. It's not a defender, nor is it a discovery. It is something far simpler, and therefore much greater. It is part of a series, a number of steps in evolution. It is a Land Rover Series 2. Its home is on a rugged, windswept island called Tasmania. Here, its impact has been felt, as it has helped to construct vast hydroelectric schemes, brought the agricultural industry into the 20th century, and is still the longest serving vehicle to have served in the Australian Army. Though the question beckons, some 53 years on, do these trusty vehicles still have what it takes?
G'day, my name's Geoff and over the next few episodes we're going to be taking this 1961 Land Rover on a 3,000 mile or 4,500 kilometre journey from here in the lovely mountainous regions of Tasmania all the way across to Perth, Western Australia, taking it across one of the harshest continents on this planet. But it's not for just any vehicle, and this isn't any vehicle, this is a medium. Packed up the Land Rover and we're finally on our way. We've just come out of Hobart, the capital city of Tasmania, and we're about 150 kilometres north, a little place here called the Steps. Now the Steps is quite significant because it was set up in 1864 by James Wilson, who was the constable at that stage. We're on a place called the Central Highland Plateau, and basically it's quite an anomaly. We've actually got mountain ranges building up and forming a flat top. Now this flat top was only possible due to the last ice age, which formed a large ice cap which actually sat on top and gave, as you'll see in the following episode, all this beautiful flat terrain and marshes that we'll see as we pass through. Small glacial lakes that are still there today. Obviously the glaciers are gone, but This acted as the header tank, you could think. And then from there, the glaciers moved down through Hobart, southern Tasmania, and as far as the west coast, and actually shaped and formed the state that we've got here.
Four seasons in one day. The clouds slowly crept in as we clambered up through the Central Highlands. The temperature began to plummet. The rain soon faded into the white mist of snow.
Overall, there's no reason why the car won't do it time after time after time. It's what they've done for 60 odd years. They've done that backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and all over the world in horrible places. They've been able to, on horrible fuel and terrible neglect, and they're still going. So I can't see that it wouldn't do it.
Well, I don't think anything much would go wrong. Like if you think about 4,500 k's, if you service your vehicle every 10,000, it's only half a service, and how often does your vehicle break down, and stop altogether?
Straight into the concrete jungle. It has to be said, modern traffic doesn't sit the best with the pioneering Land Rover. The sprawl of Melbourne had all but gone. Our eyes laid upon the pristine coastline, and for the first time we saw the Indian Ocean. We would be taking one of the great drives in Australia, the Great Ocean Road. There is quite a bit of history surrounding this road. Its main purpose was to help link the remote fishing villages between Melbourne and the southern coast of South Australia. The construction began in 1919 and provided much needed work for returning servicemen returning home after serving overseas from World War I. By its completion in 1932, it had taken over 3,000 people, whom were mainly ex-servicemen, to construct the road. Due to this, the road was dedicated to their fallen comrades, and it now stands as the world's longest war memorial.
Wheel bearings are the biggest issue. People don't think you need to do that, but you've really got to make sure that sort of thing's all right. Because thinking about it, your car, the whole weight of the vehicle at any given time is only resting on several, 2 to 3 or 4 maybe, rolling elements in each bearing at any given time. So they do a lot of work, surprisingly. And that's not counting impacts into potholes and ingress of water. So yeah, it's like, wheel bearings are my favourite topic really. So do that, differential oils, engine oils, filters, just basic maintenance. The main thing is not to carry so many spare parts that you're going to engender a fault in the vehicle by overloading. I've seen that before. People taking spare axles and diffs. I mean, why? The car weighs twice what it should weigh.
Be able to set a world record for doing this by the time we get to Perth. Put the V8 supercars and NASCAR to shame.
fair bit's happened since last time I spoke to you. We're now here at Mount Clay, which is just about 70 kilometres towards Adelaide Way past Warrnambool. We've managed to get on the boat and we've got Lara the Landy on the mainland, which is the first time in 53 years. Everything seems to be going okay. We've just had to tighten up a few wheel bearings and fiddle around with the gearbox a bit, but other than that everything seems to be going okay. We're trying to push on to Mount Gambier today, and we're hoping in 3 or 4 days we might get over to Port Augusta. But we'll just see what we can do and see what the road throws up for us.
I'll admit it was a relief to be able to sit behind the wheel and just enjoy the company, the scenery and some good tunes. We had had our hearts in our mouth for the past couple of days, just not sure of what we were doing, where we were going, what miles we should be making. Damon had been trying to write an essay on his phone and navigate at the same time, just to show guys can multitask. Though, having been said, it was starting to come to light what the trip was really all about. It was an adventure, yeah, sure, but the chance to share a life-changing trip with some good friends. For me, it was the chance to follow a dream and a sea change, to help explore my own career prospects. And, to be quite honest, this is what brought the whole trip about. After completing my degree in geology, and no such luck finding a job in Tasmania, it was decided to play my last hand of cards and head west